Yeah, let's go take a little walk. Something seemed off. What the?
What was that?
The scariest part of being alone isn't nature. It's the eyes watching you from the shadows. From a relentless stalker in the desert to a tent mysteriously crushed in the dead of night. When your gut screams that you're being hunted, would you stand your ground or run for your life? The first video tonight comes from Bella Clark, a US-based outdoor adventure creator focused on realistic solo hiking, winter camping attempts, and off-the-grid exploration. On December 22nd, 2025, in rural Virginia.
Very bumpy road. More private property. Ooh, a big bird. Oh, there's a bald eagle. You're definitely not gonna be able to see it on the camera, but I promise there was one. Big puddle. Oh, I don't know if you can see that, but there is a Confederate flag on that tree. Feels so safe here. Okay, the person on the app that I don't trust already was lying. I've not seen a single campsite, so, you know, there's that. But look for the silver lining. Freaking crossing, and this one's like frozen over, kind of. I'm gonna have to do all of this again when I turn around, by the way. Oh, God. Okay. And a huge mud puddle up here, of course. If I knew for a fact that there were campsites up ahead, you know, but just the fact that I don't know where I'm going and I don't know if there are any campsites, it's just like, what if I'm doing this for literally no reason? Well, would you believe it? Another little creek crossing. This road keeps going for a while though, so I'm hoping it just turns in to dispersed camping areas. Another creek crossing, by the way. So, let's knock this out real quick.
She reaches a trailhead later than planned and begins searching for a primitive campsite before dark, only to realize there may be no place ahead to stop or safely turn back. Using an off-road navigation app, she follows narrow, snow-covered back roads lined with private property signs. Creek crossings, mud, and rocky terrain slow her progress, increasing uncertainty about vehicle safety and whether a campsite is actually accessible.
Oh my god. Well, that did not sound good, did it? There's a really big rock in the stream that I did not see. And I don't see anything leaking or dangling. Okay. I'm getting a little frustrated, I'm not gonna lie. That was not fun. I think this is my sign to turn around.
Tension rises when her vehicle strikes a hidden rock during a crossing, scraping the underside. After checking and finding no visible damage, the moment underscores how quickly winter conditions and unfamiliar terrain can become dangerous.
That was quite humbling, I'm not gonna lie. Change of plans. No camping tonight, unfortunately. I just can't find anywhere. If anybody knows any primitive campsites, please let me know, because I don't know why these aren't more accessible.
Repeated failed attempts to locate a campsite, combined with fading daylight, shift frustration into caution, leading her to abandon the overnight plan.
Come on, gotcha. Good job. Man, that sun's starting to go down, and it is getting cold. Wow, it's so pretty though. Come on. You got it. Oh, good job. Good job. Okay, this was the first part. I had to carry her up, but I think she's a little more confident going down. You know, she could easily just fall right down there, and that wouldn't be good. Let's jump down right here. Just right here. Right here. Yeah. Wow, good job. Look at you. Wow.
The hike becomes the main challenge as she navigates steep, rocky sections while carrying her small dog, with snow, ice, and loose stones creating constant slip hazards.
Quiet. It's getting dark. It's a little spooky. Better get back to the car. We have about 1.7 miles left. And Rick sees booty, and it's just not holding, and they keep, that one specifically just keep falling off. We have less than a mile. It's kind of getting dark, but I'm hoping I won't have to stop and get my headlamp out. And booty's officially off. I think I'm gonna have to bust out the headlamp here. Okay, that's much, much better. My God.
As darkness falls, she completes the final 1.7 miles using a headlamp, with isolation and dropping temperatures intensifying the experience. Back at the car, she warms up and reflects on the trip, emphasizing the importance of confirming campsite access before winter travel. The experience shows how reliance on apps, seasonal access limits, and private land can quickly alter plans. And in a silent forest with no signal and movement in the distance, the question remains: would you stay or leave without looking back? The next horrifying video comes from Wanderlust Diana, an unfiltered nomadic lifestyle creator documenting solo car living across the United States. On December 12, 2025, in Nevada near Las Vegas, she parks alone at a scenic location and begins preparing her SUV for the night, unaware that a presence nearby is watching her every move.
This guy just came up to me. He's over there. I think this is his regular spot. So he's asking me, like, if I want any illegal substance, like crystals and stuff like that. So I'm like, no, man, I do this kind of stuff. And yeah, so he was here talking. So he heard, so I said, yeah, I'm from Jamaica. And I was like, I don't do any of that stuff, illegal substance.
While setting up her sleeping area, the calm routine breaks when a man in a white car begins circling the location, repeatedly stopping to ask questions. Diana quickly notices his attention is fixed on her rather than the area. What starts as casual curiosity turns unsettling as he keeps returning and lingering nearby. To deter him, she states that she is a vlogger and that her vehicle is equipped with cameras and tracking devices. The man verbally backs off but does not leave, instead watching from a distance.
I am loaded with equipment, like tracking device. He's like, never mind, and he left. But he's still hanging around far away, so be careful, guys. Be careful of these people. I didn't want to put him on the spot like that, but he was on my camera the whole time. And I was warning him. I said, dude, I am a blogger. I am wired. So, I gave him a fair warning. And then he's like, yeah, I got it. But then he was still lurking down there in the background watching me. I am going to leave and head over and drive about 30 or 40 minutes away to Cracker Barrel. I'm going to have to find a new spot.
Realizing the situation may escalate and that she could be under continued observation, Diana decides to leave immediately, driving over an hour to a Cracker Barrel parking lot. Later, she reflects that someone else may have been involved, confirming that leaving was the safest decision. This situation shows that a place that feels safe can suddenly become dangerous, especially for someone traveling alone. When someone keeps watching you instead of leaving, it's a warning sign. So the real question is, how long would you wait before trusting your instincts and choosing to leave? The first clip comes from Exploring with Bear, a YouTube channel focused on urban exploration and outdoor adventures. Known for exploring abandoned and forgotten locations, Bear documents a solo camping trip on February 10th, 2024, deep in a dense forest during a freezing winter night, one that quickly turns into an unforgettable encounter.
Welcome back to another camping adventure, fam. This is part 2 of this series, and I'm Jer Bear. This is what we're going to be working with tonight. That's it. Bare bones, baby. Bare bones.
The video begins at sunset as Bear shows his minimalist camp, with fading light casting long shadows through the forest.
All right, guys, so it is getting colder out now. I say now's a good time. It's probably around 10 o'clock or so. I'm really curious to see if they'll last all night. When I wake up in the morning, I'd give them a double thumbs up. Anyway, yeah, let's go check those out.
As night settles and the cold intensifies, he builds a fire and reflects on being underprepared while discussing Bigfoot and forest legends.
Did some woots. I did a Bigfoot call for the first time. I think it was pretty.
The calm breaks when a loud crash sounds near the tent.
Alright, so I'm thinking maybe, now that we got these fired up, check out the offering tree, maybe the lake. So,
followed by another unsettling noise. Curious but cautious, Bear steps outside with his camera and walks toward a nearby offering tree where an object suddenly falls from above.
alright guys, so I'm going to take you all to the offering tree, because I don't think I showed you that yet in this video. So yeah, let's go take a little walk. I could use a better flashlight too. I gotta say, this flashlight is not very impressive. Offering tree, let me try to get this light a little better too. There we go. That's more better. Something seemed off. What the heck was that? That sucker came flying in. Did it just fall from up there? Like that was... I don't know what that was. What is that noise coming from the lake? So yeah, in part one. Did you guys hear that? That was a big frickin' bang by camp. The woods is becoming alive. Keep your eyes open though, guys, because these woods are frickin' scary. I've sworn I've seen things in them.
Despite strange sounds in the distance, he continues before eventually returning to his tent. The forest grows quiet and he tries to rest.
Stop turning my light down. There's more than one. More than one. Crap, wrong way. It's throwing stuff at the tent. I'm armed. Oh no. Oh my god. I'm gonna have a freaking heart attack. I almost feel like it could be people messing with me. I just heard it breathing.
Later, heavy impacts and footsteps circle the tent, with repeated strikes against the fabric suggesting someone is throwing objects and that more than one presence may be nearby.
I can hear it. No, please, no, please, no, please, no. Please, no. Please leave, please leave. I think it's leaving. So it's been about 5 minutes and I haven't heard anything. My heart's still about to beat out of my chest, and before whatever that was, sounded like there was two of them. There's people, creatures. I do not feel safe. I'm sorry guys, I'm not. Yeah, right now I hear nothing. I'm getting out of here.
Fearing for his safety, Bear abandons the camp and leaves immediately.
Alright guys, sorry if this is a weird break in the video, but you know, it's been about 7 days since the camping trip now, and I've just now mustered the courage to come back.
7 days later, he returns in daylight to find his tent destroyed, crushed by a cinder block and slashed.
Look at that. Frickin' cinder block. Someone destroyed the frickin' tent. I wonder if they thought I was laying in there when they threw that block on it. Man, it looks like somebody was trying to hurt me.
This situation shows that the danger may not have come from animals, but from other people. After seeing what was found later, the big question is simple. Would you still camp alone in the woods, or is it safer to avoid the risk altogether? This clip comes from Hiking with Jenny, a YouTube channel focused on long-distance hiking, solo backpacking, and immersive trail experiences. On January 10th, 2026, Jenny hikes from Whitewater Falls toward Tuxway Campsite on North Carolina's Foothills Trail. The day begins on a gentle stretch, weaving through shallow gullies and small ditches, but the easy terrain doesn't last as long as it seems.
And it's, you know, it's like pretty basic. It's a bun, like a hamburger bun, between
the bun halves, I imagine you're supposed to remove the underwear and it's supposed to just be more like a hint of flavor. That's like, oh, this is like the new fad thing to order. I would call that a weird dream. I didn't get to the point where you actually eat the sandwich. It was just sort of like served. So I was not the only one to order this. All right, now we're talking. That is a honking staircase. Holy cow. This looks like...
The hike begins calmly, but the terrain quickly turns unforgiving. Jenny faces a massive staircase carved into the hillside, its steep rise punishing already tired legs with no room for mistakes. Each step requires focus and control, where rushing could lead to a slip.
Oh, scary bridge. Oh, God. Why do they have to be bouncy?
Soon after, she reaches a narrow suspension bridge that sways under her weight, the drop below making every movement tense as she carefully balances her way across. Jenny reaches camp as light rain begins to fall. Her feet are sore and she's clearly exhausted.
First one was taken, but I was aiming for this one because I've heard it's got a nice view. Picnic table. It looks like some good trees for hanging. This will be home for tonight. Got my tarp up because it is supposed to rain tonight. It's actually already kind of drizzling. Alright, I'm in my hammock for the night. Oh, my feet were so sore. Got my food hung. I have 27 miles left of the trail, so the next couple days shouldn't be as bad mileage-wise. And I've positioned myself right before a particularly challenging part of the trail. I probably am gonna sleep early tonight because I'm just so tired, and there is a big group of people that showed up after I had set up. Hopefully they'll go to sleep and not be up all night laughing. Anyways, this is the end of day 2. Thank you for watching. Happy trails.
But the quiet setting helps her calm down. What makes this day difficult isn't danger, but long climbs and trail features that slowly wear you down. If a trail can feel calm one moment and dangerous the next, how often do hidden risks appear when fatigue and focus begin to fade? The video comes from Nick C., a solo wilderness adventure creator known for winter camping, bushcraft, and immersive survival-style trips in remote mountain terrain. On January 15th, 2026, Nick is camping alone in a secluded winter mountain environment. As darkness settles, Nick sits quietly listening to familiar forest sounds when an unfamiliar noise suddenly comes from the nearby trees.
What is that? I kept hearing it though, did some research. Turns out it's from the, I forget what it's called, frost booms, or I don't know. It's from like freezing of water within the trees. Some birds make the creepiest sounds in the world. Foxes make scary noise. There's all these things that make the creepiest noises. The amount of times I left a campsite because I heard something terrifying, a year or so, especially making these videos, I've gotten so much better with that. Can't even count. Really not a lot for sounds that'll bother me. I've heard mountain lions. Dark, I'll just sit there and listen to the forest. When you hear those, when you're not scared at night and you hear the same thing, some of them otherwise might have scared you, you're like, oh, that's normal, right? So yeah, I've gotten a lot better with it. But what I just heard, I don't know, guys. Holy did it scare me. So actually what happened is not the last clip where I was showing my gear, but after the one before that, after I'd shown you guys with a spot, I heard this sound. Or
It's close, distinct, and immediately unsettling. Unsure of what caused it, he retreats to his vehicle. When he returns, the sound comes again from the tree line, louder and clearly not typical wildlife.
In a sec, I literally hear, I'm like, I am done. I grabbed my stuff and I literally sprinted. When people say the hair on the back of your neck stands up, I am out of here. What the heck is that? Yeah, no.
After waiting in the car, it happens once more, this time seeming even closer. The repeated noise triggers a strong fear response, and Nick decides the risk is too high. He abandons the campsite, runs back to his vehicle, and later replays the audio. The sound is clear but difficult to identify, leaving him shaken and unwilling to return that night. The incident highlights how unfamiliar sounds can override experience during solo winter camping. And when the source remains unknown, the question remains: at what point does caution become the only safe decision? The next chilling video comes from Roaming in Raymond, Motorhome Adventures, a UK-based solo van life channel documenting real, unscripted travel around Britain. On June 25th, 2024, in Brading on the Isle of Wight, poor weather traps the creator alone in her motorhome as mist and rain close in.
I've got to do that thing online tomorrow, even though it's meant to be raining tomorrow and it is already getting misty. Gorgeous view that though, innit? So, don't know what to do now. I mean, I came back to Brodick because it was meant to be chucking down, and I've just used the last of my milk as well, so I need to go to the shop, which means I want to be as far away from this end of the island. You know, I've got places I want to go back to that I really liked, and I want to go to new places as well. I'm going to walk Wolfie for now, go and walk to the co-op and get myself some milk. I could stay here till tomorrow because at least I can get editing done and get videos uploaded, see if it does piss down or not. I mean, I'm meant to be meeting Stephen and going to the botanical place because you have to sit outside on the beach a bit, which ain't very good if it's chucking down with rain. Well, we've been well and truly rained off now, so that's the end of today, and I've got an issue again. This is where I've got to get Carl to do the welding. When I get back, I'm just going to have to shove a towel in there for now. But it'll stop me bloody carpet getting wet and rotting and getting mushrooms growing on it. While I'm rained off, as Stephen calls it, van jail. At least I can get editing done, can't I, Wolfie? Which ain't very exciting for you, is it? Anyway, I thought I'd do an update. So I've done now. I left on the Sunday.
Unaware that the quiet night ahead will bring more than just bad weather. Late at night, she walks her dog through streets that feel unusually empty, the silence and darkness creating unease.
When I took the dog out, because I didn't take him till 11:30, and then because it's like the middle of the week, there was nobody around. I'm not a fan of the dark anyway, but at least there's street lights there. But yeah, otherwise I've been alright. Last night, coming in, I kept getting a big massive puddle down there in that ridge. And it's been that bad. That and that are absolutely sopping wet. Gotta try and get them dry. I ended up having to move last night. I mean, not very far, but because where I was open to the elements, and 45-mile-an-hour winds all night, and it was blowing on that side of the van. And I think that was just making it, forcing the rain in to wherever the tiny gap is. That was about 12:30 last night. I ended up moving because I just thought I'm going to run out of tea towels to try and dry.
Overnight, heavy rain leaks into the van, forming puddles inside as strong winds push water further in. With towels running out, she moves the van for shelter, only to discover the seatbelt stem coming loose in her hand.
So I've got a towel shoved down there for the leak what started yesterday. I've got a towel shoved down there. I'm trying to keep me and the dog dry. I went to put my seatbelt on and the whole stem just came off in my hand. Well, it's not the bolt, it's the nut. Had completely come off and I hadn't realised. So as I went to put the seatbelt on, the stalk bit with the clip thing on the end was in my hand. These have been that low, they're going below 12, and then it's done so the compressor fridge cuts out so it doesn't drain.
As batteries drop and the fridge shuts off, the van grows cold, turning the night into a series of escalating problems. The night shows how quickly small problems, weather, isolation, and minor mechanical failures can combine into serious stress when traveling alone. And when quiet roads, darkness, and unseen problems stack up, how easily can a calm night turn into something far more unsettling? The next disturbing video comes from The Muscovite, a travel and lifestyle channel documenting solo road trips and remote camping across Russia. On October 8, 2025, the journey leads to a wooded area in Karelia, where isolated bungalows sit quietly near a lake, unaware that the silence there won't last through the night. The camper inspects the tiny house meant for the night. The space is cramped, with a low doorway and a narrow window facing the forest. Inside, the light doesn't work. Spiders cover the walls, and the bed and furniture are worn. Towels are pushed into holes in the walls to make the room usable, while the forest outside remains completely silent. The poor condition of the bungalow and the isolation create unease. Then a sudden, unexplained noise comes from inside.
What was that?
She freezes, unsure of its source, as the forest outside stays quiet. Later, she explores another nearby house and finds it in even worse condition, suggesting the site has been neglected for a long time. Throughout the night, intermittent sounds come from around the campsite, repeatedly drawing her attention back to the forest. Although unsettled, the sight of houses and parked cars across the road helps prevent panic. By morning, she reflects that while the original bungalow was unlivable, moving to another structure made the night manageable. The night in Karelia shows how isolation, silence, and unfamiliar environments can amplify uncertainty, even without a clear threat. And when a place offers no answers, the question remains: how do you know when discomfort is harmless, and when it's a warning you shouldn't ignore? That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.